It's coming to Steam on PC. It comes out tomorrow. There was no Xbox code.
Nope. Chronos: The New Dawn did not have Xbox code before launch. Borderlands 4 did not have Xbox code before launch. Dying Light almost had Xbox code before launch, but then did not, as you can tell by the fact that its preload doesn't exist anymore. Other games that I've looked at, Sonic Racing only had PS5 code before launch. That's why we don't have a review for that one. I don't know if it's going to or not, but Silent Hill F does not have a preload up yet, even though that game's out on Monday. This is the worst month I can remember.
We have a bit of a duty of care to you to try and tell you what the Xbox version is like, presuming, of course, that that's your primary place of play. And we will always endeavor to do that. But right now, it feels like that job is being made unnecessarily difficult. And for those perhaps vocal critics out there that would say, well, you should just wait. I was like, if we were massive and we were IGN size or GameSpot size, we could probably afford to wait and release that version's review when we're good and ready. But we're not massive. And unfortunately, we live on the clicks that the internet provides. And if we're not there on day one, the reality is that there are content creators out there that are faster than us in many ways.
Yeah, because they're just going to put up gameplay footage.
I have reached out to, my PR contacts internally at the UK and just sort of said, hey, raising this as a point of concern, any just kind of waving the flag on this a little bit, like, is there something going on that we don't know about? Is there a backlog? Is it the reality that the developers of AAA and all of that are focusing on one platform more than the others, which is entirely likely, like PlayStation or PC, and certification and their submission processes, etc., mean that codes just are not a priority for them on Xbox. And if that is the case, they really need to do something about it, because it's going to have a knock-on effect on the amount of coverage the actual Xbox versions get.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over your next dose of the Salty Batch files, of course. And with the theme of things today, we just got some more Xbox fanboys, delusional lists, sticking their foots in their mouths as usual. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so starting off with the theme of things here, like I said, foots in the mouth and all that, but like with the opener there, I just want to touch base real quick on that. And it's just basically kind of just that other open window, right? In regards to what the brand is looking like. It's not, I wouldn't say a dying brand, but it is a brand of its former self, a shell of its former self. And, a lot of folks are trying to connect those dots and being like, well, this is just how it is, right? It's going to be hit and miss in regards to what's available on the Xbox platform when they're moving towards that third-party publisher status, but just kind of wanted to share that with you, the realization it's there. That being said, let's get to our first example here. Again, we can't help but have Colt Eastwood. Colt Eats Wood. He's back yet again because he just doesn't stop. I think this one kind of cooled down, and I think it's great that I sat on this for a minute, just to kind of remind folks out there, and maybe some folks that maybe forgot this here. So, take a look here. Colin Moriarty calling out Colt Eastwood, basically, right? Is it me, or are the folks saying everything should be third party, literally the same exact people who were celebrating, wishing, and hoping for, and promoting console exclusivity more than anyone else in our space? Regardless of where you stand, it feels wildly disingenuous. 100% on the mark. As you can see, Colt Eastwood, he chimes in right away because he knows it's him, and he's got his people saying, hey, Colin's singling you out here, you better say something. I would have shut up if I were him, because like the videos I've had, it's called out Colt Eastwood as well. So it's nice and refreshing to have someone like Colin Moriarty, with somebody with more followers, a lot more followers, able to kind of put this in the limelight, right? What does Colt Eastwood say, as you probably read ahead? But he states, a few years ago, console fans couldn't have those games from the other platform. It didn't matter to Colt. Didn't matter to Colt, but now it does. Now they can, and now they found a new thing to celebrate, which is far better. A far better thing than celebrating exclusivity. Do you see how stupid this is? He called out the fact that he was celebrating exclusives not too long ago. I've been doing the same thing, and he doubles down by acting like he's turned over a new leaf, and this was the direction that needed to happen all along, folks. Colin continues on here. Or, the very thing you loudly championed and egged on completely failed, and so you pivoted to something new. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. If Colin is going to zing you, if he's going to just bullseye you, perfect already. He could have ended it right there. Whether or not it's your intention, that's certainly how it reads. So he even tries to give himself like, hey, even if I'm not assuming everything you said in a full compilation video of videos that we could pull from your channel, Colt, he's even saying, if we didn't even assume that, I'm a, quote, console fan and my opinions haven't changed at all, so your explanation is inadequate. That's just it. I love it. I mean, there was not much else he could say, right? I didn't find anything else. If somebody has the clip or has a screenshot of what Colt tried to rebuttal or tried to say or save face, let me know. I didn't see it at the time. But I think it's great. Just putting him in his place. I mean, I would be absolutely, utterly embarrassed, and he should be, because he's full of crap. This is why we feature frauds, shills, and grifters, and that's the theme of things here, because that's exactly what they are. Case in point here. Perfect. But let's go over to something else here. I think this is fun here. So, if you know Stallion83 here, Stallion is a hardcore Xbox dude. Has been for many, many, many years now at this point, right? Big gamer score, big following, all that good stuff. 20 plus years since I touched a PlayStation. Today I unboxed one, earned my first trophy, and Platinum Gears of War Reloaded live now, which what he did is upload his save file, and you can transfer that over, get it Platinum on the PlayStation, no game time needed on the PlayStation console. But it was a start. It's a huge deal that he picks up a PlayStation 5. I think eventually anybody is going to take a look at something and be like, look, I need to at least explore some additional options just in case, but, you know, whatever the reason is. But below, Nameless, states on here, Ray, you were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. It's funny that he thinks the PlayStation's the Sith, if he's going to use that comparison. But whatever. But yeah, they're not going to be having fun with this. You know, all that fan base, they're very finicky. He's going to probably lose a lot of fans, but he's also going to probably gain a lot of fans by opening that up and actually trying this forbidden fruit, if you will. But we're not done there. What does he continue to do here? I think this is cool too, because I like to see people, this is what I tout, right? If a game's great, play it. If a game is worth playing, play it. Shout it to the moon, shout it to the rooftops. Amazing experiences should not be gone unnoticed and shouldn't be had if you are a gamer. After 20 plus years on Xbox, I spent 1 week with my PlayStation 5, and yeah, I'm loving it. DualSense magic, of course, I've been saying this since day one. Astrobot Joy, Game of the Year for a reason, folks. And a whole new trophy addiction unlocked, more thoughts soon. The trophy system, in my opinion, and many others, and I think factually, is a better system. Even a lot of Xbox fanboys understand that the PlayStation trophy system is an amazing system. It is the best one out there, even attributed to Steam and stuff like that. Steam has similar achievements like, you know, Xbox and stuff, and I give credit all the time to Xbox for making that a system, right? They were the pioneers for creating that trophy system, that achievement system, right? I thought it was cool. I was addicted to it back on the 360. I thought that was fantastic. Wished and wished and wished PlayStation would have it. They were late to the party, obviously. They were late to the party with a lot of things with the PS3, hence the late start. But once they integrated that, I knew the first two games, right? Super Stardust HD and Uncharted 1, right? Both of those games were the first two games to receive trophies. It was given via a patch. The games were already out for some time. But once that happened, I thought it was great. It just opened up a whole new world to me, and I was like, I loved the achievement system on Xbox. This is cool. You get categories, and if you do everything, you get a shiny platinum. It's cool. It adds to your score, blah, blah, blah. Really cool feature, but it's really nice. I just wanted to share that because it's really nice that he is really experiencing these games, right? This is what I do for a lot of Xbox hardcore people. I'm like, look, you could still be an Xbox fan, you could still do your thing, But please, just try these games out. Try this experience out. You don't even have to game on it as your primary choice, but don't miss out on these experiences and opportunities. The DualSense is amazing. And of course, the first-party games, most of those are absolutely amazing and classics, right? At this point in time, as time goes on. But Tom Morrison chimes in, of course, Astrobot is so good, and there are so many other great PlayStation games you'll discover. Enjoy the trophy hunting. So again, Tom Warren, a main Xbox dude, chiming in as well, giving kudos and credit where it is due, right? But just wanted to share that with you. Even someone like Stallion, they can kind of see, I don't want to say the light, but I do want to say that they see the options out there now. Their eyes are open for those options to not limit themselves. If something is super amazing and everybody's touting it over and over and over again on your head, you need to experience that. I just like to see that happen. Now, as we continue on here, this is great. So now these Xbox fanboys and delusionalists here think they are mathematicians here, as you can see from Clute. Zach and Clute here. 600K copies, 600,000 times $35.20, rumored split of 8812 equals 21,120,000 made on the Xbox port. Look at that, Totoki. Easy money made, bring more games over, Last of Us, Spider-Man, and Returnal next. It's not that simple. He obviously leaves out a lot of the collateral that comes along with that as well, whether it be advertising, whether it be anything else that is in there. I'm not going to break it down in this video, that's not what it's about. But again, they think it's just so simple just to bring those over there. All this does, you can file it under port begging. That's what they do. Sad to see. And he also thinks he's a mathematician, to where he can make this a thing. Like, hey, Totoki, the guy that probably does have a bunch of degrees and knows what's going on in an internal scope, listen to my dumbass and go ahead and do this because that's what's going to work for you as a company. Trust me. No, Clute, I think we all understand the two brain cells you have don't really fire off between each other all that often. But that being said, we do have to move over here as well, right? Boomstick here. Boomstick. Yes, everybody's favorite alfalfa here. More misinformation, he calls it, right? Being spread from the so-called journalist Christopher Dring. I guess clicks are way down. Clown emoji, horse emoji. So, if anything is there, I've had small conversations with Christopher here. I think he's pretty solid, right? We may not always align or agree on everything he says, but he is far from a pony, right? He's stuck up for Xbox just as many times as he's stuck up for PlayStation, right or wrong, on both ends of the account, right? But on here with the game business, as for Game Pass, we know the behavior of players. They jump in for 5 minutes and they drop out. This is not misinformation, Boomstick, you moron. This is not misinformation. This is a fact. You have a big old category and you're trying to get through as much as possible, or, you know what, they just want to have time to pop in here and there and feel like they're getting the most bang for their buck. That's what they do. Nobody, and including myself, when I had PlayStation Plus Extra Premium, or when I was part of Game Pass for a short while, trying it out here and there, not one time did I feel compelled or, you know, I would say instigated into actually wanting to finish a game. If it didn't grab me in 5 minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes, maybe even a half hour, I would not stick with that game. I would move on to the next one. Well, let me try this. I have some time. How long does my membership last? Do I have it for the year? Do I have it for 4 months, 2 months, 1 month, whatever? I have different categories I need to get to. Again, I feel much more inclined to finish out a game, to play a game to its entirety if I do my research, I look into it, and I pay with my own money to own that license or physical copy. I feel more inclined to finish that game. And 9 out of 10 times I do if I do purchase a game, as opposed if I'm renting that game in a subscription service, right? Same thing goes with any, like Netflix, Disney Plus, whatever, any of those other streaming services for TV shows and movies. I see a bunch of movies on there, and I'm like, I'll get to it. I haven't watched a ton of movies or series that I plan to get to because I'm in my comfort zone, my comfort food. If I buy a movie, if I buy a series, I'm more inclined to watch that as well. But it just is what it is, guys. That's not misinformation, Boomstick. That is the fact, and you can tuck your tail, you can cry in a corner, you can visit Risk It for a busted can of biscuits in his car and continue to cry some more. The choice is yours. But as we continue on here, we aren't done. No, we got Colt Eastwood back once again. 825 gigabits should be plenty to store the remainder of the PS5 first-party roadmap, but save some room for Xbox games. So, again, we're going right back to the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. We're paying attention to, quote, roadmaps, where Xbox's roadmap has hardly ever come to fruition with their entire roadmap. A lot of misses, a lot of cancellations, this, that, and the other, but we're going back to the roadmap, and we're going back to poking fun at the new model of the PlayStation 5 having a less internal storage, where you can buy fairly cheap these SSD storages, what I would recommend putting in your system if you do want to download more than 5 games at a time. Most of the time, honestly, I think if we rotate, we don't need to have 20 plus games downloaded onto your console. And guys, that does in fact slow it down at times in regards to flipping around to different apps or getting into a game, this, that, and the other. It does. I would recommend, just an FYI, save all your stuff, right? Your game data, whether it's on the cloud, whether it's on USBs, whether it's internal storage, whatever, yes. But I don't think you need more than 5 to 7 games. If you go past the double digits, I think that's too much. I don't think you're really buzzing around that much just to save yourself some, RAM usage and this, that, and the other. But again, we're circling around to the roadmaps and trying to poke fun. But again, Colt, you definitely know what you're talking about, and you didn't get your ass handed to you by Colin Moriarty just earlier in this video alone. But yes, we better listen to you, because thank goodness we have 12 Xbox games to possibly experience on the PlayStation as well. So you're right, we probably should pick up an SSD if you want to go ahead and put those double-digit games on your system all at one time. But again, not sure where you're coming at with this, but trying to find a rare W, and we're still not finding it at this time. But now, let's get around to the final example here. This is what I love to see right here. Oh no, it's Alex, of course, just doing his typical, hey, there's another video coming 7 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Take over Xbox Game Pass to Toki crying in the background on the thumbnail. But lo and behold, Colt in the grass, the Pokemon long grass, he's under there waiting to pounce. It is prime opportunity here. All caps with the no. You have to cover the excuses PlayStation fans are giving for Helldivers supposedly doing well on Xbox. This isn't even good enough that he's still poking fun at PlayStation. He's poking fun at how successful supposedly the Game Pass is and how great it is. He wants them to do even further damage control for the Xbox brands and to, go after that PlayStation community even further, because PlayStation fans are giving Helldivers supposedly doing well excuses for doing well on Xbox. No one's giving excuses. We said from day one that Helldivers, out of all the IPs that Sony has and hasn't came over to Xbox, that would be the most Xbox-like type of game, that genre, that will succeed and do well on Xbox. Nobody said it wouldn't. We wondered if they would follow up, because you are so sheepishly garnered towards Xbox Game Pass, right? Renting your game, subscribing, not buying stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a lot more misses, or many more misses than hits, than if you were to sit there and buy your game. So yes, people are going to question even a game of this caliber, even a game that is this great, even a game that fits into that category that most Xbox fans would and should like. You still have to kind of question it. But again, it's not good enough for Colt Eastwood. He wants that damage control. He wants to control that narrative, and he wants to look like the moron that he completely is on a daily basis. He's a big fan of mine, let me tell ya. That being said, we will wrap up the video right here, guys. I could go on and on about Colt Eastwood and his disingenuous, lack of conviction, misinformative channel, social media presence, all that stuff, but we will finish it here. That being said, I really appreciate your guys' support, sticking around, all that good stuff. Are working our way to the 4,000 sub goal, so thank you all for your support. Every like and comment down below does help out the algorithm. Would love to hear from you. In addition to that, if you haven't subscribed, definitely consider helping out a small content creator like myself for more of the truth, for more of these findings, for more of just having some fun and all that good stuff. Stick around. We have plenty of that on this channel, and somebody that does have a little bit more integrity than someone maliciously spreading misinformation and still fighting the good fight in that regards. By the end, like I said, play where you want. I'm not telling you to play in PlayStation. Play where you want, what makes you happy. I'm not going to be like these idiots here. Enjoy what you want. Happy gaming. That being said, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.